sir. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We're going to be working on a rear deck today from one of my subscribers. He said he wanted one of them. I think he has like an 83 box Chevy. And he seen my video of the video I have how to do one, like the how to the DIY one. So I'm gonna make him one, but a little bit more advanced. Now that I got more experience, I think I can make it a little bit better than I did. And this is the first one I did right here. Yeah, if y'all saw my videos, this is the first one I made right here for my box Chevy that's out there. Let me see. For my 84 box Chevy, that's right there. That's what that rear deck came out of. There's just gonna be a quick video. It's not really gonna be a how-to, but just pay attention to what I do. If you see my first video, then you kind of already know the business. If you guys got any questions, you could always comment down below. And also, guys, I want to thank y'all. We finally hit 3,000 subscribers, man. I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys keep watching the videos, keep motivating me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So here. Guys, I start off by tracing out my template that I have. I just made it out of cardboard. And here's how it looks after I trace it. I find the center point, and I had this idea to make like an emblem in the middle, because he told me just to do whatever I want. So had this idea with the emblem, but I just scrapped it in the end. But here's doing my border right here. I'm doing like about an inch all the way around, finding my center points, and I'm just freestyling it, guys. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of design I'm gonna like. I see a lot of people with the same design, so I want to do something a little bit different. This is what I came up with, and I really liked it, actually. Oh, of course, I had to have my Modelo right there. And here's a little trick, man. I use a little water cap to make my rounded edges. So I put it right here in the corner, trace it, so that way the edges are not like completely 90-degree angles. I do it in all my edges, my sharp edges, just like that. And I do recommend to use a pencil, not a pen or a marker, because I messed up so many times and you can't erase the other stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I just trace everything. And for my straight cuts, I use a circular saw. That way all my lines are pretty straight as possible, because I do everything by hand. And for the rounded areas, I use this jigsaw right here. And this is how it came out. Pretty clean. You could always clean it up with a sander, which is what I do. Most of the time I like to sand off all my edges. That way it's nice and smooth and clean. I use 80 grit on this orbital sander. Next, I'm gonna get my router, and I'm gonna route all these edges right here. I use a 1/2-inch router bit, and I go around all the inside of it. Flip it around, do the same thing on the other side. What's up, guys? It's actually the next day, man. I stayed up late working on this thing, and I messed up. So it was kind of late, so I just stopped recording. But let me show you how I messed up. All right. So right here, this is the rear deck I was making. It looks good and everything, but I try to make like the little groove in it to put the LED lights back here. It was looking good right here. Then I started messing up. Then over here it's all chewed up. And honestly, man, I just like said forget this. So scrap that, and I came up with another concept. So I don't know if you can see the drawing. I outlined the new one right here. It's gonna be the new deck, but I got these inserts that are gonna be wrapped. I'm gonna put the grills right here, and then I'm gonna put the LED lights on this wood. I'll show you right now the way, but this is how it's gonna be laid out. It's the other one over here, and I put a middle one right there. And probably like a little, some mesh, and then maybe like a little plexiglass plate, and put like, I don't know, caprice or something, whatever he wants to put on it. But these, basically what I did the exact same thing what I did on these. Did the camphor, cut it out. It's pretty straight. But I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna freestyle this one right quick. Let me just try to put you on the tripod real quick. So right here I'm measuring the space I have available. So now that I know, I'm starting to make my little design. I'm just using this straight edge. Well, it's a ruler. It's actually my favorite tool because it has a ruler and I can make straight lines with it. You know what I mean? On the fly. Here I am just getting everything nice and squared. Always double check your measurements, man. That's what I like to do. Even though if I messed up already, but I try to do as much as I can. Just double check everything because this wood is not cheap. And this is the design I came up with, man. Again, it's all off the dome. So here I am sanding it down, like I said, with 80 grit. All the edges, making them as smooth as I can. And you guys could also sand it down by hand if you really wanted to, but it's going to take you a lot longer, you know what I mean? This orbital sander helps and cuts time. Now I'm using the router so I could route out the edges like I did the other ones. I do this before I actually cut out the actual the cutout, so that way it's easier for me because I can't be doing it while it's a little piece. So while it's still on the actual plywood, I'm doing the router real quick, and then after I'm done, I'll cut it out. You'll see right now what I'm talking about. And this is how the piece came out. Look at that. Not bad, huh? Now that I have them all cut, I'm just going to lay it out and see how it's going to look. Just a quick mock-up. So here I am cutting the actual main rear deck where the cutouts are going to sit on. And this is how it's looking so far. Right here in these areas right here is where I'm going to put the LED strip lights all around the edge, all inside there. And right now is a good time to tell you guys, I forgot to mention that those cutouts that you did from inside of those little inserts, you have to keep them because I'm going to put you on game right now for those grills. You're going to need those little blocks that you cut out to actually form your grills if you want to make them look 3D. And here's my son trying to look like he's helping and doing something, but he's just breaking stuff around the garage. But anyway, we're going to keep on going on this video. Just a little something funny for y'all. And this is the mesh I ordered right here. I'm going to go ahead and leave the link so you guys can see where I got it from. This is us trying to flatten it out because it does come in a roll. So you got to try and make it as flat as possible. Here we are, you know what I'm saying, stomping the yard. Stamping on it to make it look nice and flat. And this is how it came out looking. You guys don't have to use the same method as we do. You guys probably have better methods. But I use these red tin snips right here to cut out. You see I'm going like an inch past the actual opening of that insert because I want to make sure that I have more than enough. So this is how you're going to do it. You're going to put your cutout on top of the mesh, but it needs to be sandwiched in between the wood. You could also leave it flat like this if you like. But this is how I do it. Now I'm on the floor and I got it in between. Now I use another scrap wood and I'm going to put that on top and I'm going to put some weight on it. And for this video here, I'm going to be the weight. So if you weigh a good 200 pounds, you're the man for the job. Also, if you want to use a hammer to make sure everything's straight. That's how it came out. It's hard to tell on the camera, on the video, but it looks pretty damn cool, man. It has like a 3D effect. Then I cut out the excess mesh. You just want like about an inch, 3/4 of an inch past that indentation. I go ahead and just cut it off. Let's put it back in there, see how it fits. Nice and clean. Look at that. Smooth. I have both of them done already. You see, there's also it's two-sided, so one side is like shiny, the other side is a little like dull. Depends what you want. So now let's do the big insert. Same thing, you're just gonna cut like an inch, 3/4 of an inch, a little bit bigger around the edges So here I am just cutting it all off. And of course, we're going to use the same method. We're going to sandwich it in the middle. And then we're going to use a board. Same thing I did earlier. I don't know why I gave a thumbs up, but we're good to go. You put your weight on it, hammer it down to make sure you get all the edges. And just like that, it's ready to go. It came out perfect, guys. Look at that. Now what we're going to do next is the same thing we did earlier. We're just going to cut off the excess from the indentation. Now let's test fit it and make sure everything's straight. Yep, fits nice and perfect, nice and snug. Now I'm going to go ahead and mock everything up again now that all the grills are in there. I want to see how it's going to look and how much space I'm going to have to put those lights. And this is how it looks so far, guys. Man, look at that. Compared to my first one I made, man, this thing's like 100% better. It gives like a 3D effect. Kind of proud of myself, man. I kind of want to keep this for myself, but I got to send it to my boy, Lewis. It's going to go all to Florida, I believe, Tampa. And these are the LED lights I'm going to go with. These are like the LED strips. I'll also leave the description or the link down below in the descriptions. But basically, it's not a standard one. But what I like about these is that it does have two options. You could go with a 12 volt, which I'll show you right here. Well, you need to put this adapter first. I think this is for the remote to give it signal. This is the you just screw it in. And it also has an adapter where you can put it like in the cigarette lighter. But this is the one I'm going to use right here. This is just a red and a black wire. So you can just connect it to a straight 12 volt. Here I am screwing it in. And I'm going to show you right now the wires. Is the red and black right there. You can just strip them. And then I'm going to test it out with this DeWalt battery. Look how bright they are, man. They get really bright. They have a whole bunch of options. You can change colors. There's a blue, I think that's purple, green, whatever color y'all like. You set it to that. It also goes with like the music, it's strobe lights and all that fun stuff, man. And this is a 30-foot long strip, so it's plenty long for a rear deck like that I'm making. I'm gonna show you the way I'm gonna lay it out. So for this step, we're going to have to change our router bit to this one. It's like a 1/2 inch straight cut. And we're going to cut right here where I marked it. Right there. And about right there. You're going to have to cut about 1/2 inch deep. You can set it to like 1/2 inch deep. We have to cut in those areas right there. Because that's where our lights are going to be. They already cut it off camera. But look. This is the groove right there. That's where your lights are going to stick on. So you can do it all in one run. I'm going to show you how I'm going to run them right now. This is see that's like how the depth looks right there. That's the LED strip inside. So you have enough room so it won't hit on either end. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on a time lapse so you can see the way I run it without wasting y'all's time. So basically what I'm doing is I'm starting at one point, working my way all the way around. And I'm using those cutout areas that I did with my router bit to go through to the next opening. And then I go all the way around and I come back and I end up in the same area where I started at. This is me just snipping off the leftover. Oh, by the way, before I move any further, make sure the surface that you're sticking these LED strips on is clean. That way it doesn't come off anymore. But let me flip this thing around and I'm going to show you how it looks. I'm about to connect it to the battery. And just that easy, guys. That's how you run the LED lights. Nothing too crazy, nothing too hard, not too complicated. You could do this yourself at the house. Even if you don't have that router, you could probably use something else to carve that little indentation in there. Just with the grills on, look how clean that looks. I don't know, my son started dancing, doing the sea walk. I don't know. That looked like the sea walk right there. But yeah, I guess he just wanted to dance. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with this kid. Oh yeah, we're watching a Bag Talk YouTube video, and my son really liked that music, man. All right, guys, I'm not gonna lie. This shit came out better than what I ever thought. Check it out. Look at that detail. Change it whatever color you want, any style. Blinking, whatever. Right here, put a plexi, like a plexi thing right here, so I could have like whatever he calls his car, name, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. This is the first time I ever made one for someone. Everything I make is for myself. You know what I mean? So I took my time on this, so that way, I just want to make sure everybody gets what they wanted. You know? Actually, he said go crazy, man. So shout out to my boy Luis, man. He's one of my subscribers. This is going to Florida. Yeah, from Texas to Florida. All right, guys, and this is gonna wrap up this video, man. But if you guys like what you saw, subscribe and comment down below, man. Tell me what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? The dude's gonna wrap it over there in Florida, so that's why it's raw, no Diddy. But peace.